It's Michael here, and welcome to 5 Minute Focus. 5 Minute Focus is a series of videos that I've put together that will help authors and creatives to be more creative, be more effective, and get more done. Today, I would like to talk to you about burnout. Burnout is something that we all experience at one time or another. It is also easily avoided. Have you ever experienced burnout? Or have you recognized that you're experiencing burnout? Because there are people that will say they have never burnt out. More often than not, that's not quite the case. The real issue is that they haven't been able to identify the signs of burnout, and therefore they haven't been able to move on from it. So they're just stuck in that burnt out, exhausted state, and they seem to think that that's just life. But it's not. That's not how people function. That's not how a creative works, and it will ruin your creativity. It will ruin your writing. It will ruin your life. Your personal relationships suffer. Everything suffers. Every aspect of your life suffers when you burn out. As an author or a creative in general, you will have ideas coming at you left, right, and center, and you will be really tempted to jump on them all. And I understand. It is very common to do too much and overstretch yourself. But there are some things that you could do that will help you to manage that flow. For instance, you can do things like making notes every time you have an idea, scribble some notes down. Get your phone out and record your voice and just blurt it out. But then you put it down and you leave it alone. You've got a project on the go. Other ideas right now are actually just going to get in the way. But how do you know when you're burning out? Well, actually, that's much more simple than it might at first appear. When you are starting to burn out, one of the first things that happens is it becomes more difficult to focus. You will find yourself struggling to output at the same level that you normally can. And you might not even notice at first. They are generally small incremental changes over time. Next up comes a drop in your enjoyment of the process. You start to be a little bit frightened of the creative process, and you stop getting from it what you once did. And then after that, we have things like you become a little bit more short-tempered, a little bit more snappy. Your personal relationships suffer, and eventually that leads on to physical and mental health problems that are really hard to get back from. Not impossible, but really hard to work your way back from. If you spot the signs before that happens, it's much easier to resolve. But spotting those signs isn't always that easy. But you will be able to tell, for instance, with regards to the personal relationships, that actually, although from your perspective, people are maybe grumpy with you, actually, it's you that's grumpy with them and they just react to it. That is a big, big warning sign. That is your body, your mind, and indeed the minds of the people around you telling you in not so many words that you are starting to burn out. But before that happens, before you stop enjoying the process, you have the focus issue. So you struggle to focus like you once did. And that is a super common one, and it's usually the first sign. But to recognize that, you need to make note of the effort that goes into what you do. How easy is it normally on a good day to sit down and write? I mean, it's never easy, but it does get harder when you start to burn out. So when you notice that actually you are finding it a little bit more difficult to put pen to paper, you're finding it a little bit more difficult to articulate yourself and really share the bones of your story, then you are starting to burn out. But when you spot that, do not just charge on. You need to take a step back. Step back, give yourself some breathing space. Your creative projects will still be there once you have recovered. But right now, you need to put the focus on recovery. You don't want your writing and your creative work to suffer. Nobody ever does. So don't allow that to happen. Take a step back. Just put it down and take a step back. It will still be there when you get back. I promise. Nothing bad is going to happen if your writing takes that little bit longer. Take some time off. And you'll have other things in your life that are important to your work, your family and friends, you know, all the people in your world. All of those things require your time and your energy too. So while you are experiencing or beginning to experience burnout, this is your opportunity to take control. So put the work down, put the pen down, step away from the keyboard and take some time off. That will allow you to process the thoughts and feelings that come along with burnout. It will also help you to gain some objectivity about why you're burning out. And it will also help you recognize what aspect of your life is actually causing that burnout. Although it will be a combination, there'll be one thing that sort of triggers it and then everything else contributes to it. And more often than not, it's not actually your writing. It's a really lovely and enjoyable thing to do for most of us. It tends to be your day job, your actual work, those sort of things. Or maybe you've got some extra stress in your personal life and things like that. So if you put your writing down just for now, you step away from it, you can go and deal with those problems. You can resolve those problems so that you can come back to your writing much more refreshed, much more energized, and much more passionately, so that you can give your writing and your creative work the absolute best you have got to give, and then some. Your personality can be injected into that work, and you can start enjoying that process again. But for now, you need to put it down and take a step back. But that's just what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you found it useful. If you have found this, or indeed any of the other videos in the series, useful or enjoyable, then please like, subscribe and share. I very much appreciate any feedback that I've got as well. So if you have requests for content, jump in the comments and let me know. If you have questions with regards to what I've put out there, then jump in the comments and let me know. I am here, so I will answer those questions. I will come and I check those comments regularly, so I will come and answer those questions. So don't forget to like and subscribe and share. And have a good day, everybody, and I will see you next time on 5 Minute Focus.